Hi, this is Jeff Tarbell, your host of Talkin Money. Are you upside down in your home loan? Finally, there's some relief for the many of you who've been left out of the refinance boom this last year. There's been a temporary change in the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac refi loan programs. This means even if you're way upside down, we might be able to help. Stop everything you're doing and give me a call right now. 916-338-9400. That's
338-9400. JeffTarbell.com.
DRE license 013-90474.
Hey Rivercats fans, are you looking for gigantic family fun at a teeny tiny price? The Rivercats Xfinity Family Packs include 4 tickets to a Rivercats game, 4 meal vouchers, 4 tickets to Fairy Tale Town, and 4 tickets to the Sacramento Zoo, and start at just $60. Family packs are available for every Saturday home game this season. Get your Xfinity Family Pack today at Rayleigh Field's Round Table Ticket Office or visit rivercats.com/family packs for more information.
The information discussed on Talkin Money with Jeff Tarbell is believed to be from reliable sources. However, no responsibility is assumed for inaccuracies. No statement made on this broadcast should be construed as a specific recommendation of a particular investment product. Views expressed are those of the speakers and do not necessarily represent those of CBS Radio. Use only as directed.
Smiles, everyone. Smiles. And prepare yourself for...
Show me the money! Ladies and gentlemen, the radio broadcast experience designed to keep your wallet in top condition. It's Talkin Money with Jeff Tarbell.
Talkin Money. Talkin Money. More money, more money, more money.
And now entering the studio, your guru for fiscal fitness, Jeff Tarbell.
Right. How you doing? Are you there? How come you're not on there? Hold on a second. Are you there? You there?
Am I here?
Hey.
Am I on? Hello.
Hello. It's getting harder and harder to live in this state. It is getting harder and harder to live in this state.
Yes, it is.
So, we'll get to that. We actually have a guest coming in the second hour today, so we're going to flip it around. Usually we do a little bit of the real estate and the mortgage stuff in the second hour if we get to it, But Jeb Burton, who's an attorney, is going to come in hour number 2 today, talk about a little bit of, I guess you can call it estate planning. It's a little bit of asset protection. It's, those kind of things related around how do you keep your money if you're worried about, for me, I have one daughter who drives and 2 more that are bearing down on me. So, you could think about things like, do I want any of the few assets I have left after having 3 kids? There's the few scraps that are left. I want them susceptible to being sued for if something happens. And, you have to think about all those kind of things which you can have. And if I had 3 boys, of course, I would have already buried my money in a hole and jumped in the hole with it. But Jeb will be here in the second hour, so we'll kind of do all that related stuff in hour number 2. It is a holiday weekend. This threw me off, Dave. It feels like Tuesday.
Last week on this holiday weekend, this weekend.
Well, if you throw a holiday in the middle, people will find a reason. I got to start partying now because 4th of July is Wednesday, and now I partied so much last night. I got to keep going, and so I think the whole week just kind of gets shot a little bit. It was quiet.
That.
It was quiet this week. It was quiet, other than in the local news. So our numbers here in the studio: 339-1140. 1-800-920-1140. You can text me at 441140. If you won something in hour number 1 last week, we have your name. We don't have your address because our Mr. This Is My Last Show, Christopher Laud, after talking about Karate Kid for 30 minutes, blew his memory out. And we didn't get the email last week. So I know we had a couple winners for the margarita machine, the mix-it-up margarita machine. I'm fairly certain there's a couple River Cats in there. So if you won something in the hour number 1 last week, the cookie lady's back. She brought cookies, and she's taken your name and number. So you can give us a call. We have your names, but we don't have your address. So you'll have to come clean with us, and we'll mail those out to you. So I apologize about that. So there'll be a little delay getting those back out. And we're going to do a little text quiz here right off the bat this morning. You can text us at 441140. If you want to call and jump in, you can do that too, 339-1140. But we usually like to run the text machine off early. And we're going to, I'll call this our little text debate. So we won't do a true quiz. My question is this, and I'll give you my thoughts on it. and we'll pick out a random winner, and we will send you a gift certificate to the Hellwig Winery, their Friday night concert series up there. Not to be confused with their concert series. They have their Friday night music up there, and they have their big concerts that are coming up. So we'll give you a gift certificate on a Friday night. Do a little wine tasting, check out one of their local musicians. It's kind of a fun event, so we'll do that. Off the text line, we'll just pick a couple randomly and send those out to you. So here's my text question for you at 441140. The state of California, I guess last night, has agreed to continue forward on a $68 billion with a B billion-dollar high-speed rail project, which is no longer, if I read the article correctly, open to a vote, because apparently they're going to fall back on the 2008 vote and say we already voted for it, so they don't want it to go to vote anymore. Are you or are you not in favor of the state of California, which has to put in about, I believe, about $8 billion initially of that project, of the total $68 billion? Remember, this is a $68 billion estimate. For those of you who've listened to the show for a while, I am familiar with the project in Oahu. Is doing a much smaller project that is way, way over budget already, to the point where they want to talking about stopping it, and it's already kind of started. So yes or no? The segment one, of course, is going to be the critical segment, because this is the section that I feel like is underserved. That Fresno to Bakersfield run. I don't know about you, but when I get to Fresno, I'm like, damn it, if I just had a bullet train to get me to Bakersfield, this would be so much faster. So the segment one, out in the farm fields. So if you're running cattle and sheep between the Fresno and Bakersfield area, you might look for the cattle car train on the bullet train. And what happens if your cow pukes on the bullet train? Do you have to clean that up, or is that on you? That's probably on you.
Yeah, probably a tax on you.
It's on you.
Kind of recoup some $68 billion.
So yes or no, are you in favor for the bullet train? At 441140, we will pick out randomly some winners or some respondents. There is no right or wrong answer. Your answer is your answer. This is how I kind of view it. So every day I come home, my next door neighbor is standing out in front of my house with a cup in his hand asking for money. And he tells me he's losing his house, he's lost his wife, he can't eat, he can't bathe, and if I would just help him out a little bit more, he would be so much better off. Just a little bit for the cup, my brother, a little bit for the cup. And every day I come by and he's asking me for money, and I give him some money, and he asks me for some more money. It would just be a little better if I just had a little bit more money, brother. And then yesterday I drove up, and he was sitting in the driveway with his Ferrari Testarossa, his bullet train. And I asked him, hey, where'd you get that? Oh, I financed it. On you, brother. So we are our neighbor who's been sticking his hand out for money over and over and over again, the state of California, who is going to propose a special tax for us, for Californians who make more than $250,000, and that could be household-wise, by the way. We never have enough money. We could never find enough money to do this. We can never find enough money to do that. We need more money. We need more tax money. And the state of California just bought a Ferrari Testarossa. And you're going to finance it in large part, the bullet train. And the theory that this creates jobs, it creates some jobs. But do we create jobs because there is a market demand for our product, like an Apple or anything, and the consumer wants to pour their money in because the product is so good, they got to have it? Or are we creating jobs by saying, I'm taking the money from you, I'm going to put it over here for a product that there isn't a lot of demand for, and there's not a lot of interest in it, and we're going to create some jobs. At what cost, I guess, is the question, and how long do those jobs last? Are we creating a job to put the rail down and be done, or are we creating a job that's going to create an industry, that's going to go on and on forever? So we're creating, in my opinion, kind of a one-time, one-off job. I mean, it's good if you're in the construction business or you're in the laying down track or building bullet train things, but that's, in my mind, that's different than creating a job and creating a company that creates a product that there's demand for and the consumer's willing to shell out their money for it. So I look at it a little differently. I think the quote from the front paper today, in the era of term limits, how many chances do we have to vote for something that is important and long-lasting, tells me something. That is from Darrell Steinberg, Senate President Pro Tem. It tells me one thing. I think that the people who are voting on this are voting for their own legacy. And in the era of term limits, that is a joke. Term limits is a freaking joke. Okay, when you leave one county and go to another county and get hired again and you switch positions, that isn't term limits. Term limits means your ass is fired. Okay, you go out and get a real job now and live with the rules you do. Term limits is not, I'm going to be the Placer County representative, now I'm going to be the Sacramento County representative, now I'm going to be the Southern California representative, Senate, House, I'm going to move around. That isn't term limits. That's Ouija board. Okay? So anyway, that's my thought. Let me know what you think. I don't have the, let's see if it says here. There was at one time a proposed what the expense would be, what they thought the cost would be to ride the bullet train from either Sacramento, San Francisco to L.A., and I want to say it was comparable to flying.
I was going to say close to Southwest Airlines or some airlines.
It was comparable cost. It wasn't. I thought it would maybe be a little cheaper. And of course, this is this is all what if. We don't know what this is going to cost.
Sure, you get to stop in Fresno and Bakersfield, though.
You do. You can pick up sheep in Fresno and bring them with you. And so there's some people that would rather get on a train than get on the plane. There's no doubt about it. And all things being equal, if you have the money, and you're rolling in dough and you're making money and you want to make a capital investment in your own state, awesome.
Right.
Totally for that. That's awesome. That's not what we have. We haven't even solved the debt. We have a legislature. We have a government that doesn't even have any opposition. Okay, this isn't like the federal government where you have enough Republicans that can kind of stop something or they can get in the way. In California, we don't have any opposition. We still can't even resolve our own budget in the state where they are all on the same page, same side. And we can't even get that done. And now we're going to spend another $68 billion plus or minus on something that I don't see a tremendous outpouring of support for. I could be totally wrong.
On a smaller scale, I just want to be able to get from the state capital to the closest airport on some sort of transportation.
Yeah. So we'll see. And this is theoretically does tie in a lot of the RT, the regional transit, the trains. Light rail is supposed to tie into this and move you along too. So again, I'm not against the concept of it. I'm just against the fact that we don't have the money for it.
Absolutely.
And you
not even close.
You can keep coming and asking and asking and taking and taking and taking money to the point where the Waste Connections of the world and different companies just say, you know what, screw it. I'm out of here. I am out of here. I don't need this. And, for those of you who read, there's different books and different things about just that. Companies picking up and saying enough is enough. And what you're left with are the people that are not producing income, the people that are just consuming income, and that's where we're headed. And I think this just puts us on a bullet train to get there, if you ask me. So, but anyway, we'll take your questions because we're getting yes and no's. So, on the text line 441140, or you can give us a call 339-1140. Got a couple people on hold. We'll get to them in just a minute. Let me read the text here real quick here from the 916. Yes, like the bullet train. 916. No. Who rides on trains when everyone has cars? Okay. From the 916, it's these same idiots who have given us $16 billion debt and the DMV, worst schools and roads in the nation. Okay. So there you go. We got 2-1 so far on the yes, no versus yes. This is on the bullet train. So we'll let that hang out there. We will pick a winner, or not a winner, but we'll just pick a respondent. And you don't have to agree with me to be a winning respondent. In fact, most times I usually pick out the people that don't agree with me. Let's get to Lucas. Lucas is going to chime in here. Lucas, what's happening?
Hey, how you doing this morning?
Good. What's happening?
Good topic. So a couple things. So I'm a business owner. I got about 40 employees here, and it just becomes very frustrating because, you feel like you work hard. At the end of the year, you get this K-1, so they put you in that bracket. Doesn't necessarily mean you get paid that much, but you're in that bracket, and now you have these extra taxes put on you. And I've just recently gotten involved working with a lot of our school districts, and I just see how, the teachers suffer, the organizations suffer. It's just such a depressing situation. It makes you want to move. I mean,
Lucas, what
I don't know how this stuff gets pushed through.
What field are you in? Not necessarily your company, but what do you guys do? Do you manufacture something?
No. We do litigation support and that software. We do software that churns through emails and pulls out data for litigation.
Now, could you do that somewhere else other than the state of California? So could you still?
A lot of my work comes from New York and D.C.
Okay.
A lot of my work comes from, of course, the Bay Area, but it could be headquartered somewhere else. It's just sad because I've worked really hard here. I moved from Los Angeles here 10 years ago, paid my house off, and just worked really hard to do this. And it just seems like I just get taxed and taxed and taxed and taxed. And there's just other areas we have so much needs in. I just was backpacking for 3 days with scouts up in the Sierras, and there isn't a more beautiful state in this country. I've been all over. There's not a more beautiful state in this country, and I just feel like I'm getting pushed out of it because it's just becoming so expensive, and it's such nonsense.
No, I agree, Lucas. I'm going to put you back on hold. That's a good call. We'll get Lucas out a Talkin Money gift there, and I agree. The one thing that Republicans or Democrats in the legislature can't screw up is the weather.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, they can.
And the beauty we have for sure.
The weather and the natural elements is the one thing that, fortunately, they can't get their hands on. At least I haven't figured out a way yet. So
Right.
Let's do this. I got one more issue the state of California announced this week, which is going to make things more expensive for you. We'll talk about that when I come back. Let's get a quiz question in at 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140, or you can text us at 441140. We're going to get Lucas. We'll pick out something for Lucas. Maybe we'll send some Rivercast tickets or something. We got. Let's do our mix it up.
Mix it up.
Yeah, can we do that? The mix it up
Sounds good.
Free
Party weekend.
Free one-day beverage machine rental from Mix It Up. The free frozen beverage machine rental shall consist of 1 day of use of either a 1-flavor or 2-flavor machine, depending on availability. They'll throw in some cups, some slushy mixes. You throw in the beverage of choice. And Juan there has a question. What's your question?
Yes. So who is the largest holder of U.S. government securities in the world? This person, this company, this organization, this country owns $1.67 trillion of U.S. government securities.
Okay. So
that was with a T.
When trillions of the large. So which entity holds the most U.S. securities, which is basically bonds and debt,
correct,
in this government, in this country? 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. A little bit of a trick question, or you can text us at 441140. I'll give you an idea. It is a country that owns $1.6 trillion in our debt. So we'll send you out a Mix It Up one-day beverage machine rental if you'd like. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I'm going to talk about a couple other little things. Did you know if you own some rental property or second homes or those kind of things, the Obama healthcare Medicare tax is looking for you. It wasn't published very well. We'll talk about that. The state of California has made some new laws about how to prevent foreclosures. Good and bad, probably both. We'll talk about that. Anything you want to cover as well, we'll jump in today, 339-1140. This is Talkin Money. My name is Jeff Tarbell. That's John Fodorero. We'll be
right back.
Jack.